Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is JD of JDs Mancave, and we coming to you live from here in Houston, Texas, where it's hotter than a fat chick with a fever. And I'm just happy to be here. And I have a couple of my guests, showing up. We are all black men in Houston, Texas, and the surrounding area, and we just have things that we take care of every day. And like to think about it, I've been out all day today with my brother helping my niece. She just graduated from Sam Houston um, University, and we're so proud of her. And she's moving into her first single apartment by herself here in Houston, Texas. So of course we've been out, with the U-Haul picking up furniture and putting together furniture. Let me tell you something about IKEA furniture, y'all. I ended up in IKEA with my brother, and we went to go buy the furniture. You actually have to go and pick up a cart and pick up the furniture and, roll it out the door and all that. It comes in a box. Then when you get home, you better have a degree in rocket science or something to put this IKEA furniture together. This stuff comes in 112 pieces for anything you buy. You buy the smallest little table, it's gonna have 112 pieces to it. I said, man, wait a minute. But you know what? The thing about that is it does give me an idea for income. I'm thinking about grabbing me a couple of young brothers and go sit out in the parking lot of IKEA and wait on them folks to buy that furniture and take it to their house and charge them to assemble it. But let me tell you, you got to know what you're doing. You got to be an instruction reader. You got to have tools and all kind of stuff just to get IKEA furniture together. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a wonderful place to go and shop, but you better know what you're in for when you're fooling with IKEA. That's all I can tell you. But yeah, like I said, we had a great day today. Me and my brother, he drove all the way here from Jackson, Mississippi to get his young baby girl together. And that just gives me an idea about the things and the depths that we as black men have to go to take care of our families. He lives in Jackson, Mississippi with his wife. They moved here. They moved from Houston to Jackson, but their daughter was still going to school and she graduated. She doesn't want to move to Jackson. She wants to move to Houston. So she found herself a job, found her apartment, and now he had to drive all the way down here just to make sure his baby girl is secure and safe in a nice apartment. And like I said, we furnished it. We went shopping for and put everything together. Only thing she got to do is come in her house today and put sheets on the bed and go to sleep. That's a beautiful thing, man, when you can make your child's life just that easy. No words, no woes. All she had to do was say, Daddy, I need. And let me tell you something. Black men, we need to get back to the daddy I need syndrome and make the daddy I need your mantra to get things done for your child. When they say daddy I need, you want to be able to go ahead and fulfill that need. But the only way you can do that is by taking care of your responsibility ahead of time and making sure that you have done your job well before they say, Daddy, I need. But yeah, we'll like I said, we're just so thankful and so proud of Callie for going to college and in 4 years coming home doing what she had to do. And now she's successful and own apartment, own job, so now don't get me wrong, she ain't cut all the strings because she know all she got to do is fall back on daddy and everything will be all right. But she is becoming very, very independent, and I am so proud of my little niece because I remember the day she was born, and the time has gone. She's 22 years old now, and I can hardly believe that. So let me tell you something, young men. One day you're going to be an old man. And let me tell you something. My old man used to say this to me. Oh, it's hell getting old. But it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Janice KJ is on. I think he's in the studio. We need to get him in. He's not. He just texts. But anyway, yeah. Let's get into some of these topics. First topic I want to talk about tonight is my boy, Dr. Dre, NWA's super producer, Death Row super producer, Aftermath super producer. This man has made so much money in the music industry that it is ridiculous. He's worth well over 800 million. That's close enough to me to be considered a billionaire. So, you know, he has done it. He made it from the hood to all good, you know, and that's what we all strive for, to make it from the hood to all good. But he has a wife who has fallen by the wayside. She is filing for divorce. They are separated right now legally. And during this legal time of separation, she's living in their Malibu home. She has access to all the cars at the Malibu house. She also has maids and butlers that wait on her hand and foot at the Malibu house. And there are no young kids. Both of their kids are grown. They have adult children together. And she is asking for roughly $2 million a month for temporary spousal support during the separation, before anything has been litigated, before anything has been settled, before any property has been divided, before anything has happened. She said, I'm leaving. I'm filing for separation. Send me $2 million every month and we good. But you living in a house that's paid for by Dr. Dre. You driving cars that are paid for by Dr. Dre. You're pretty much eating food and everything else that's being paid for by Dr. Dre. Yet and still you are asking for $2 million a month. Let me tell you something. I don't know what kind of dope she on, what kind of crack she smoked. But let me tell you something. I don't know who in the world, with all of your particulars already taken care of, and you don't have any kids that you have to take care of or support, who spends $2 million a month? If you do, kill yourself right now on live TV and charge for it so you can recoup some of that $2 million. That way your family can bounce back from this $2 million you spending every month. Steve, did you hear about Dr. Dre's wife wanting $2 million a month during a temporary separation, and she the one filed for the separation?
Well, she's trying to say that's what her lifestyle is, that's what she spends a month. But I'm like, what are you spending $2 million a month on? You know, are you buying a Bugatti every month?
What kind of toilet paper she using? That's what I want to know.
That colored Charmin that we used to have back in the 80s.
Boy, hush. Brother, like I said, I was telling him earlier, Steve, I read the situation going on with Dre. His wife is living in the Malibu home that he's paying for.
Right.
She has all the access to all the cars at the Malibu house. There is a full wait staff at the Malibu house with a chef included, everything at the Malibu house, and she's living there during this time of separation. But she still wants Dre to pay her $2 million. Well, let me be honest, $1,993,000 and some odd dollars. That's $2 million to me. She wants every. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm like, you know, you have to be able to justify. You have to justify to a judge why $2 million. And if she said, well, this is the lifestyle I have, I'd have been like, that's extravagant. You only have that lifestyle because of the music that I made. Now, I could see if you contributed, you were in the studio helping me tweak these knobs and pushing
Right.
these buttons and you were helping me creatively. But if all you do is sit back and you're enjoying the fruits of my labor, then no, you don't get to say, well, I get, you know, so much of your fortune every month because this is what you're worth.
And let me explain something else to you. Not only that, but in 1996, she signed a prenup agreement. Now the
Okay.
thing is, even in the prenup, she says that she signed it under duress. But if you signed a prenup agreement in 1996, why are you bringing up that you signed it under duress in 2020? And you have never said anything prior to this about duress.
Well, right now, what it is it's a matter of playing. It's a matter of playing CYA.
Exactly.
You know, she's trying to cover her behind, you know, by saying, well, yeah, I signed it, but it was under duress. Well, did you make a note of it then in 96? You know, was your attorney made aware? Was a
Exactly.
police report filed? You know, if not, then what you're doing is you're trying to go back and say, well, what I remember is back in 96. Man, I can't remember what I did 96 minutes ago.
No. So now all of a sudden you signed this in 96, but you want to crawfish on it. You want to back up off of this thing. But hey, that ain't how legal agreements work. That prenup was filed, notarized, and filed prior to this situation coming up. So guess what? You got to live by that, baby. As they say, live and die by that. Because that's what she's gonna do when they get to court. She's gonna die. That little $1,000 a month situation is not gonna flap, brother.
Well, it depends on, again, what's in the prenup. What does the prenup say? You know, does the prenup say if she files for a divorce, does she or is she entitled to anything? If he files for it, if they do file divorce, is it a matter of irreconcilable difference? Do you have to prove abuse? I mean, we don't know what's in the prenup that she signed and to see what she gets out of it.
Right. And from what I heard, Steve, she was the one caught in an adulterous situation. That's the word.
She got caught?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh, so she got caught in an entanglement.
Right, in an entanglement. There you go. That's the new key word for 2020, entanglement. Let me tell you something. If you get caught in an entanglement with me, my fingers are gonna get entangled around your throat.
Not throat, but throat.
Your throat. You know, THOAK. Throat. Yeah, ain't nobody going for that entanglement lie that Jada Pinkett. Look here. Jada Pinkett brought that to these girls' attention that you could say entanglement and make it not sound so harsh.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you call it, you gave up the booty. Put it like
we
that.
weren't in an adulterous relationship. We were in an entanglement.
Entanglement. Like I said, the next entanglement is around your throat.
That's serious.
I'm not going to stop squeezing until I see a snot bubble come out your nose.
Not the snot bubble.
Yeah, you remember them little kids when you were little? They used to be in school and they get to breathing and that bubble get big, then it gets small and that's them breathing. That's not breathing, but breathing. Yeah. That's how it's going to have to be before I let you go. I'm going to have to see that snot bubble come out your nose and get big and small. That's just it.
Funny.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing. I'm with you on the fact that you have not made one hit record. You have not mixed mastered nothing. You ain't wrote no rap. You ain't produced no rap. How in the world do you think you're entitled to $2 million a month? And if that was your lifestyle, that was only your lifestyle because I made it your lifestyle. Now that you're leaving me, guess what? This lifestyle leaves as well. And that's just all it is.
Yeah, now I can see now if he was wrong, then okay, yeah, if he got to pay the piper, that's one thing. But if she wrong and she want to go out on top too, she's just being greedy.
Now don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that she need to go move in an apartment somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he need to give her the kind of money when she got to go get a 1-bedroom apartment and wash her own clothes and all that type of stuff. But
Go
look,
get an efficiency on Fondren.
she ain't. I'm not saying go get a one bedroom in Ludrum Park. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Boy, look at I know Fondren Southwest back and forth, or
Man.
over there, Padera. I ain't saying go get nothing over there, but you at least want to keep her at a nice lifestyle, but let's be somewhat modest. There's no way you need $2 million a month and you don't have not one child to take care of. All it is you.
She can catch one of them 2 bedrooms in Crystal Springs or the VA.
There it is. Nah, she won't need $200 a month down there. $2,000 a month, she be living lavish. Yeah, but that's just crazy. I said $2 million a month, baby girl. Hush. You got to be crazy. But hey, man, that's what she's looking for.
Hey,
and,
look, now
I'm hoping Drake use every lawyer he got to get her out his face.
My wife and I talked about this earlier today, and she was saying, what she should have been getting us some mad money. When he want to spend, hey babe, I'm gonna buy you a car, she should be okay, yeah, and taking that money and then putting it in the bank. But like I told her, I said, baby, if she's been planning this exit strategy for a minute, she's been talked to a financial advisor and put some money away.
Exactly.
That there ain't no way all of a sudden I don't have nothing and I want to leave with something. No, she has had a plan. If this has been on her mind, she has gotten with a financial advisor. Somebody has instructed her on what to do to put some money somewhere away while they go through this trial. And then when it's over with, she'll have this money hidden somewhere.
Right.
She's been talked to.
Exactly. You got to know that, because I tell people all the time, your wife is always smarter than you, brother. And look, they used to get mad at me, Steve, because I say that in the barbershop, amongst a bunch of men. They be like, what are you talking? I say, let me ask you a question, brother. What's your wife's social security number? I don't know. I say, well, what's your wife's driver's license number? I don't know. I say, I bet she know yours. I say, I bet she know yours by heart. Because the thing is, men react, women plan. See, that's a big difference between us. I ask a brother all the time, Steve, you ever woke up in the middle of the night and your wife was sitting there just looking at you? You sitting there, you sleeping, and she thinking. You got to understand that, brother. She gonna always outthink you and outplan and outprepare you. You got to understand. Like I say, men react, women plan, and that's just all it is to it. There's no. I don't care who you think you are, what kind of PhD, master's degree, all that. You still a man, and you still are not planning. You just reacting to things as they come. Like my daddy used to say, we put out fires as they pop up, man. Put them out while they little bitty fires, pat them out real fast before they turn damn inferno. That's just how we live our life as black men. We put out fires as we go, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just that's why every black man needs a good black woman on his team, because you may do the reacting and putting out fires, but she's already playing a decade ahead of you. She's already, like you said, putting up coins and putting this over there and putting this in line, insurances in place. And all the men don't do that. We don't think about stuff like that. We try to go get insurance after we done had the damn wreck. It's too damn late. The people ain't finna insure you now and pay for nothing. You done had the wreck already. You should have had insurance day before yesterday. Yeah, but that's just how we think, brother. We are just creatures. That's just who we are. That's our mannerisms. Yeah, so I'm just, I'm just trying to see how this Dr. Dre thing pan out. I really want to see. Everybody's complaining and comparing it to the Mary J. Blige situation. and a Jill Scott situation. You know, as far as when those men left Jill and Mary and how much they ended up with.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, let me tell you something. That Mary J. Blige situation and that Jill Scott situation was a straight come up for them two brothers.
Oh yeah, especially Kendu. He wasn't doing nothing, man, but walking around being Mary J. Blige's husband.
Exactly. That's all he was doing. He
Having
waking up when he felt like it.
yep, having a personal chef for this. And I'm like, nigga, you the definition of extra. You know, what you need chefs and all this for, man? You better go in there and
For extra,
you know,
read all about it type extra. Yeah, he was extra for real. Look, what they say, you in the way, bro.
in the way.
So you just in the way. You have not contributed a thing. Yeah, so
All right.
I understand what you're saying, but yeah, you know, it's just amazing these situations that these celebrities end up getting themselves in, man, and the ridiculous amount of money that these people play with. My wife and I sit here a lot of times and watch that Love and Hip Hop and all that type of stuff, and it's just amazing to me that how crazy and ill prepared for life that a lot of these celebrities are, and how much money they waste and how much money they lose on stupid things. You know, like,
Yeah.
wow, you serious?
A lot of them don't understand. A lot of them as artists don't understand how the music still don't understand how the music business works as a business financially. You know, a
Right,
lot of the artists, you know, all they know is I did these tracks, I'm supposed to get X amount of dollars, and they start spending. Well, what they don't understand is you're in a different tax bracket. So now instead of being in that 27% tax bracket, you either in this 40 or this 50% tax bracket.
right,
However much money you make, Uncle Sam gonna get so much of it.
exactly.
And then they basically start ass betting with the companies about future sales. So they bet against. So basically, what they're doing, they're ass betting. They're betting against themselves. So they got the companies. They taking out loans against future music projects. So
Right.
they're getting all this money up front. Yeah, kind of like on What's Love Got to Do. And Ike was in there telling Tina, "Look here, I got to get these hits out because they done paid me for it, and you know they've been on me for the last 6 months. They're like, Ike, we've been touring, we've been doing this and that. He's like, baby, you don't understand. You got wardrobe. I got this person. I got that person. I got engineers. I got all these people I got to pay, and this show money only goes so far. And this money that the studio gave me up front, I got to recoup it.
Right.
You know, and a lot of artists don't understand the whole idea behind recoup. The money that they give you up front, when they give that little sign, you got you showing everybody on Instagram, man, I got this 20,000, this $100,000 check. Come on, let's ball. We winning, we doing this and that. Bro, that's a loan.
Huh.
That's a loan. So when
Oh,
your album come out, you thinking, yeah, I done sold these 500,000 copies. I'm certified gold. I'm finna make these millions of dollars. Well, now, bro, you got to understand that when you sign this contract, out of 100 points, which is 100% out of 100 points, you only sign for 7.5. So that means for every dollar, you only getting about 7 cents.
exactly.
And out of your 7 cents, you got to pay me back this $100,000 that I gave you, plus uh,
Studio
your accountant, these clothes, these hotels.
time and all kind of stuff.
They don't understand it. They thinking, well, I'm doing all this money. What y'all getting paid for? Management. We're distributing your music. We're putting your music out. See, that's what Master P and them did. Master P was smart. He was like, no, I'm not gonna let a record company put my music out when I can put it out myself and keep the money.
Exactly.
I went to U of H with P. You know, when he decided he got that money because he was on basketball scholarship. When his
Right.
grandfather died and got that money, he went back to Louisiana. He came back about almost a year later. He at King's Flea Market, hustling, selling stuff out the back of a car, selling his stuff, music out the back of the car.
And
He between Houston, New Orleans, Dallas, Fort Worth, Lake Charles, Lafayette. all up and down I-10. He was selling his music at the back of a car.
And I'm glad you brought that up, that Master P situation, that I've talked about that several times to people in the music industry. Master P gave y'all the blueprint on how to get rich. P right now is filthy rich, brother.
Yeah.
But see, what P did was not only did he make his music, but everybody that he knew in his neighborhood that could rap and put together something, he was putting no limit this, no limit that, making money off of all of them and making all of them have money in their, in their own right. But see, the thing is, people did not, we got brothers coming in the music industry trying to reinvent the wheel. Right. Not reading contracts. They not educating themselves on the business side of the music business. They just want to make music and do shows and get drunk and walk around with necklaces on their neck and throw money in the club. Well, look, let me tell you something. As they say, a fool and his money is soon parted. Yeah, so that's what ends up with a lot of them, But like I said, P gave us the blueprint on how to get rich and how to stay rich. But so many people are not following his lead. And like I said, why not get you a group of people who can do something and put them on to it and make money off of them and make money for you, make money for yourself and make them have money. We all come out in different neighborhoods and different areas that there's a lot of talent in, unguided. I call it misguided talent. But if you have the talent and the know-how, get in there and get yourself together and learn the business aspect of it as well. Not just how to get on the mic and rap. That's cool. That's the creative side. But in order to stay in business, you got to know the business. We fail to educate ourselves on the business aspect of the entertainment world. But let me tell you something. Ask Eazy-E and them about Jerry Heller and all them and how much they got exploited and how they lost their money fooling with Jerry and them. You know what I'm saying?
But that was one of the things I was gonna say about P. P took a note out of the Jewish handbook, and he kept the money in his circle.
Right.
All that money that they made didn't leave. He empowered them boys to make money and gave them their masters. Every last one of them who worked for P got their masters. They own their music. Exactly. All he did was you own your music, but it's got to get put out through me. So he ran it through Priority, and then was it Capital or Arista? It was one of them.
I think it was Arista.
He ran it. They ran it through them. So he basically gave them their masters. But as far as distribution goes, it had to go through. So that's how he made his money off distribution. You keep your master, you get your royalty money, but I'm finna get this distribution money. That distribution money comes straight from the label.
Exactly.
That's a check that comes straight from the label.
Right.
You ain't got to wait on that check. That check comes.
And see, like I said, a lot of us, jump into the music industry and stuff like that, and you never see these guys who are so-called artists learn the business side of it. And let me tell you something, if you don't learn to handle your business will
handle you.
And that's what ends up happening to a lot of them. And by the time they look up, they done balled out of control, but you broke with all outdoors.
Well, Hammer is a fine example of that. He put everybody on spending $1 million a month, and when it all came down to it, when his music wasn't hot anymore, what did he have to show for it? Because he did not know how to financially plan for his future.
He managed his money correctly. He didn't. His contracts weren't signed where he thought he might be making that kind of money for the rest of his life, brother. It's over with. When the gravy train stopped, the wheels fell off. Everything.
Yeah.
And you just wallowing in gravy after that. Ain't no more riding the train. And you wallowing enough gravy, you'll drown, I promise you. And it ain't always just water. Gravy will drown you too. Yeah. like I said, man, you just have to learn the business. Whatever endeavor you decide to go in as a black person, I always tell them, learn everything you can about that. I don't care if you're a construction worker. I don't care if you move furniture. I don't care if you drive trucks. Whatever you do, learn every aspect of that business. And that way you will always know when somebody is messing over you and when your thing ain't right. Whatever they got you going under, it ain't right. You'll know it because you know the business. Now,
Yep.
when you don't know the business, people take advantage of that you don't know the business. Not only that you don't know the business, but they know you're not going to even research and try to find out the business. So they treat you any kind of way.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why that would be my advice to anybody in any endeavor that you are in. Whatever you do as a income or as a business, please get out there and educate yourself on it and learn everything that you can about that business so that you cannot be screwed by your business. And that's just, that's the only advice I really got for people. Let me ask you a question, Steve. We're going
What's
to
up?
change. Did you hear about the young brother who got killed in Rochester, New York, about 2 months prior to George Floyd being killed? He was killed by
Uh-huh.
the police. Did you hear about that?
The one that put the bag over his head?
Exactly. You did hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
43-year-old brother. Let me explain something to you, man. I tell people this all the time. The police are not designed and equipped to handle some of the things that we call them for. Now, the thing is, we really don't have a repercussion to deal with the mental health of our people in our family. What happened was, let me explain to you what happened. This brother was 43 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Visiting his brother in Rochester, New York. Now, he ended up having a mental episode, which means he snapped.
Right.
He walking up and down the street in Rochester, New York, butt naked with his shoes on. His brother trying to get him to calm down, and he acting a fool out there in the streets. So his brother calls the police to assist his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Now he called him for assistance. And his quote is, "I called the police to get some assistance. I did not call the police for my brother to get lynched," because basically that's what happened. Now let me explain to you. The video shows the brother submitting. You know what I'm saying? He's cooperating with the police. Now he's still talking a little noise and
Yeah.
he's bumping his gums. He out of his head. So he's talking crazy, but he's complying with everything the police telling him. Put your hands up, put your hands behind your back, all of the necessary things. Now what happens is, I read the story, and what happens is he tells the police that he has COVID-19. So when he tells the police he has COVID-19, they put the spit bag over his head and cinch it up. Now, they throw him on the ground, and his 7 officers, they put all their weight on this man for all up around his head, his neck, everywhere for a short period of time, they say. Now, he did not die at the scene, but he did pass out. Now, once he passed out, he was, they called the EMTs.
They
And the
failed to render. They failed to render aid. That's what happened.
Right. Well, what happened was the EMTs came and they took him to the hospital. Now,
Yeah,
because he
but
took so much oxygen for so long to his brain, he never recovered.
right.
He ended up dying a week later from the sustained injuries of his arrest. Now, this happened, like I said, 2 months before George Floyd incident happened. But they don't even talk about that. Now that just goes to show you that as black people, we want to call the police for assistance. But many times, the police don't come there with the assistance agenda. They come there with a goon type mentality, a squad up type, hit squad type mentality, and they are not equipped with compassion enough and I don't know what's training and compassion enough to deal with the mentally ill patients that they come in contact with.
I think the problem is
Uh-huh.
that we do not have the correct response material in place. You dial 911 for an emergency, like somebody breaking in my house, somebody, somebody's got a gun, somebody, when you dial 911, you're getting a response for an emergency.
Right.
That we should have maybe a 411 gets you information. 311 gets you city information, and I think 211 gets you police information. So we need to have some number that can assist with with emergencies that require a medical approach for someone having an episode. If you got a family member that's outside that lost their damn mind, he running in and out of traffic butt naked, or he outside walking around in traffic clucking at the ground like he a chicken, then you need to call somebody other than HPD. They're not coming for that. They're not equipped for that. HPD is not equipped. HPD is not equipped for dealing with our boy butt naked in South Park.
Exactly. That's just like I heard a story. I heard another story here in Houston where the family called the Red Cross because they didn't want to call the police.
Yeah.
Now they called the Red Cross, and the Red Cross subsequently, they end up calling the police, and the police came out to the situation and killed the person at that scene with brutality, trying to subdue them, and they were having a mental health episode. That happened in Houston. Now, this story, Steve, is near and dear to my heart because I had a cousin who graduated from Northwestern University in 5 years with a master's degree. Mm-hmm. She got a master's in 3 and a master's in 2 from Northwestern. So she had to have some snaps.
Right.
Now, she ended up after getting her master's, she stayed up in Chicago, and they were partying. Somebody, she was at a college party after celebrating, and somebody slipped her something in her drink, and she was the same again. Now she came home. Now that was in her 20s. She was in her early 20s when this happened. She came home and was living with her parents. I'm talking about never regained her snaps again. She was a blooming idiot after that, and just had mental health issues. I don't know what they gave her, what drug, but you know how they do you. On them college campuses, they got some stuff that'll turn you into a babbling idiot. So I tell people all the time, you be careful. You leave a drink, leave it. Don't go back to it.
Yeah, but, absolutely.
So she ended up in her 40s. She had a mental break episode, right?
Uh-huh.
She grabbed the book. Now, by that time, her parents are elderly. You got to understand, she's in her 40s. So her mother's in her late 60s, early 70s. And her father done passed. Uh-huh. And she got elderly people that live at the house with her, relatives staying with her. So she grabs a butcher knife in the kitchen and starts threatening people in the house. She's having a mental episode. So her brother calls the police because they can't handle her. Now, when the police get there, she's still wielding the butcher knife out in the yard. She's out in the yard now. They done moved out the house out into a wide open space instead of them close corners with everybody. So when the police get there and they are, shouting commands and all this, they got their guns pulled and everything. She still got the knife. They gun her down in her front yard in front of her parents and family.
Wow.
With a knife. HPD. Yeah. Right here in Houston. That was my first cousin. Yeah. And it was just a tragic event because this girl was a beautiful young lady, brilliant, smart, just a mishap in college, come home and you know, she lived like 20 some odd years with her parents because she couldn't live on her own. She, you know, she never
Right.
gained the capacity to be able to live on her own. So she was living there with her elderly parents and had a mental snap, and the police came there and gunned her down, and nothing ever occurred after that, brother. Nothing ever happened. There was no
Wow.
recompense, no recourse, nothing, because you call the police and she's threatening the police with a blade. But there are so many non-lethal repercussions that could have occurred rather than gun her down in her front yard, in front of her family. Yeah, we have there has been police brutality and mishaps throughout the history of HPD. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tell people all the time we have to understand what the police force was. You know, the ideology behind the police force. First of all, the police force was born out of the slave catchers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the slave catcher mentality. After they freed the blacks, they used those overseers and slave catchers and all that. They ended up making them the police force, the origins of the police force. And because of that mentality, it has never really changed when it comes to dealing with black people. The first thing they did after slavery was vilify rather, the black male. Then once they did that, it was easy to start disposing and getting rid of black men and mistreatment. You know, so we've had that aspect with the police force throughout. I mean, from the you know, very startup of policing. That has been a common theme and a ideology that black people, black men in particular, were villains, no matter what.
Right.
You know, when the police got there and you black, you wrong. This is all it was to it. So we have had to deal with that situation throughout the history of police forcing. And that's policing all over the United States. It's not just HPD. This happens in every major city, even in sometimes in small towns, it's even worse. Because you got, you know, situations that have occurred in these small little towns and cities that got swept under the rug, lynching, you know, they're caught in a suicide or whatever.
Right.
Really, the police lynched that brother, got rid of him, and there's no recourse and no recompense for it. They just let it go. It gets swept under the rug. And man, let me tell you, I tell people all the time, the hardest job we got, Steve, is just being a black man. That's the hardest job you're gonna ever have in your life, brother.
You ain't lying.
That is a look. People don't understand the fear and the nervousness that a brother gets. You can have all your paperwork together, be dead right, all your insurances, everything, and the police get behind you, you still get a little nervous twitch in you as
Oh
a
yeah,
black man.
absolutely.
Because I know for certain I do. And I know I'm not the only one in America that does that, because the thing about it, throughout history and through episode after episode, we have seen things go completely wrong behind simple traffic stops. You know what I'm saying? And I want to know when and what can we do to rectify this situation. And is I don't know if it ever be rectified in my lifetime, Steve. To be
Well,
honest.
a lot of it is the culture of the police force, the police academy. But then again, too, you know, let's just be honest. We don't help the situation either. Where little Pookie or little Ray Ray get pulled over, and the first thing he scream is, "Man, y'all some haters, man, y'all some hoes, man. I ain't do nothing. Man. Why y'all up here bothering me, bruh? Shut up, shut up. You that when you get pulled over, that is not the time to plead your case. That's what the
Right.
court is for." You get
Exactly.
pulled over, yes, sir. How can I help you? You want to expedite this matter and move it along so you can get to the house and get to your next destination. So you, yes, sir. How can I help?
All right.
Do you know why I stopped you? No, sir, I do not. You know, it ain't gonna hurt you to humble yourself a little bit to give a little respect to a man that got the uniform on. First of all, he took an oath to come outside. He took an oath to take this job and to ride around knowing that he might have a target on his back.
Right.
So that's hard enough. So I'm not finna sit up and give this man no extra lip, or for him to have another reason, because when he come to my car, when he run my plates, he already knows I'm a black man driving this car. So when he comes in the car, he already has, where you going, baby? Oh, see? JD, you see how she talks to me? Talk to me like I'm street booty. All right. Anyway.
I told you.
So, it's bad enough when they come to the car and they see that I'm a black male, they got their hand on that holster and they unclick it. And they walk up to. Now, one time they stopped me I was in my truck and I had my dad with me. I was taking my dad. I was running him to the ATM on Main Street. He lived in Higham Clark, running him to Main Street. He wanted to have some money in the morning to pay his yard guy. His car was in the shop. He wanted to, yard guy was coming the next day. He wanted to get some change. Going down Higham Clark, whoop, whoop, lights. All right. So I have a gun in my door.
Right.
I don't want to have to open my door. So I reach over very carefully in my truck, grab my gun, put it over into my the little thing next to me.
The console.
The console I put in my center console and close it.
Right.
Now I did all this sitting in my truck without too much movement, so it didn't look like I'm shoulder moving. The only thing they can see me do is reach to grab my wallet. I tried to find my my insurance in the thing in the truck, in the glove compartment. Couldn't find it. Hey, y'all can run them plates. Y'all had that information. I immediately put it up. They come to the car, him and his partner. They stopped at the pillar, the rocker pillar, right behind my head. Both of them with guns drawn. They have the light. They have the light. They have that light shined up at my mirror. So when I'm looking out, I have to look at them. I can't see. I'm blinded.
Right.
So I have to stick my head out the window, making for a perfectly good target to put somebody's melon on flat.
Exactly.
And the first thing I ask is, good afternoon, officers, or good evening. Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Do you know you're speeding? No, I did not know. My apologies. License registration. Gave my license. Yeah, your insurance? I said it's in my glove compartment, but for my safety and your peace of mind, I'm not going to reach for it. I've tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. If you have to give me a ticket, I'll bring it to court. I've got it. How about this? Run my plates. It'll come up on APHIS. Well, my system is down. All right, that means you didn't want to run it. No problem. I'm not finna go back and forth with you. And at that point, I give him my stuff, and I'm trying to expedite this and move on my way. I'm not giving him no lip. I asked him a question. He said he couldn't do it. Yes, sir. You got insurance? I got insurance. You gonna reach for it? No, sir. Not finna reach for it. It's nighttime. 2 black men in this car. Y'all already came to my truck with guns drawn. Now, if I got to go to court, I'll bring it. I have it in court. It's not a problem. It's not a problem.
Right.
So at that point, they were like, well, all right, I tell you what. Who's this? That's my dad. I'm just finna run him to the ATM to get some money for the yard man the next day. I put my window down so he could see from that back. My dad smiled at him, giving him one of them Fred Sanford grins.
Right.
And he said, all right, send us on our way. Just told me watch my speed. Cool. Right. Now, had I gave this man some lip, I'd have got drug out the car. My 70-year-old daddy would have got drug out the car. Then at that point, they would have had probable cause to search my vehicle and find a loaded pistol in my console.
Right.
And that'd have been something else, they'll go in there. They have, let's say my dad is still in the front seat. They drag me out. My dad's still in the front seat. They open up the thing. They see gun, and start shooting in the car because my dad is still in it.
Right.
It wasn't worth it. Hey, whatever you're gonna do, if you got to give me a ticket, no problem. That's what I got a lawyer for. My best friend is my lawyer. I'll fight it in court, no problem. But see, too many of us, our young brothers, they make it bad for us because they gotta be brave and gotta be bold. They gotta start talking noise for their gal that's in the car with them.
Let me explain something to
Or
you.
they don't know no better, or they just don't know any better to respect the uniform and understand, do whatever it's gonna take for you to get home safely. It don't
Exactly.
make you no punk to comply. It don't make you weak to yes sir, no sir, thank you, have a good evening. You know, it don't make you weak or a punk. It don't make you a sellout. What it does is it makes you a survivalist. It makes you smart to understand that in this jungle that I got to navigate, I'm either gonna be predator or prey.
Well,
Right now, I'm
you know,
prey.
don't you, Steve?
Say it again.
I said, you know what your problem is, huh?
What is it?
You handle that like a grown man.
Well,
Yeah, handle that like
I handle it like I want. I handle it like
you
I
trying
want to see tomorrow.
family. You know what
I
I'm saying?
handled it like I handled it like I wanted to see tomorrow.
Exactly. Like I say, you trying to get home to your family and finish living your life and
You know,
not be a mortar or on a t-shirt. I'm cool. Look here, bro. I don't have to be on no t-shirt. I'm not trying to be famous that way.
hey man, look, God could have even ordained that could have been the moment when I die, but I wasn't finna test my faith that day.
Exactly.
I wasn't finna test my faith. No, 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 no. I believe in God. Hallelujah. You know, but I'm not gonna sit up here and aggravate the situation where
Right.
the next 30 seconds I'm in there trying to figure out, like Tom and Jerry when he was going up that escalator, he was trying to run down that escalator.
Right.
Trying to get back. Oh no, bro.
Yeah, ain't no, you going up. You going
The upper room.
Yeah, you going down the other way, baby. It's just crazy, Steve, how we I tell people all the time, we as black men need to learn to navigate the system. Like I was talking about people in the industry learning to handle the business of the music business.
Right.
We need to learn to navigate through life as black men because, yeah, sure enough, things are not fair. Things aren't right. Police don't treat us right. But the thing about it is, if you already know that, then why be a damn fool and aggravate the situation and end up dead for nothing?
That's true.
Easily done, like you said, I'm not reaching for nothing. You want to give me a ticket, give it to me. That way you see me right here, but my hands are, I'm not giving you no excuse, nothing. You give me the ticket, I will fight it in court. That's cool. That's a smart move, brother. I want to applaud you on doing that and still being here and taking care of your dad at the same time.
I appreciate that because I have to. You got to think. We got to think strategically, bro. It's too many times we do not think strategically. Too many of us. Your girl Nunu talked about brothers being too many P words. She talked about, she was on her feed today talking about, say, you know, y'all, you say a dude's supposed to handle me. I'm not supposed to handle the dude. And there's too many of us, man, that there's got to be punks about things and not sit up here and think about it logically as a man. You know, I'm going to do whatever it's going to take for me to get home because as a man, my first charge is to my family, not to myself, to my family.
Right.
Your first charge is to Queenie. It ain't to JD. Your first charge is to your real.
My
you got to
wife,
make sure whatever you do.
My wife tells me almost on a weekly basis, Steve, at least once to two to three times a week. She said, you got one job, stay alive. That's what she tells me. She mean that as far as my health wise and as far as out here in these streets navigating. Because she know when you leave this house as a black man, when you leave the comfort of your own house, you are going into a jungle where you are the prey. You see what I'm saying? You dealing with some hunters out there. Some of them white officers and some of them black officers too are hunters. They looking for somebody to fool with. You know what I'm saying? They looking for some excitement on they what they call it, on their ship. Yeah. And I don't want to be that excited. I don't want that. I want to get back home and sit my behind on this couch and flip my feet up and flip my remote and sit next to my pretty wife. That's all I want to do.
Amen.
I don't want no
That,
other. I don't need
yeah.
excitement. If I want some excitement, I will watch it on TV. There are movies, they got action genre of movies. If I want some action, I watch it on TV. I
On
don't
the
need
fire
it.
stick.
I don't need it. Like, I will watch it on TV. I got a way to watch whatever I want to watch when I want to watch it. So, hey man, look, I ain't looking for all that. Look, I ain't what they say. I ain't out here for all that rigmarole with these laws in the street. You
Yeah, I
not.
ain't trying to be.
I used to tell my son them, and I tell my boys now, you cannot win a court case on the side of the road. Man, just say yes sir, no sir, and put your hands behind your back and let's ride. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
you can beat the
if we-
case, but a lot of times you can't beat the ride. So just go on ride.
yeah, I mean, listen, it ain't nothing wrong with doing the dance because we created the dance. The
Exactly.
Hispanic tried to take credit for the Macarena, but we've been doing the Macarena.
For real. I can put my hands behind my back fast as I go.
We've been doing the Macarena. You know,
For
and
real.
if you got to do the Macarena on the side of the road and go on ahead and take that rep, because like you said, you might beat the rep, but you ain't going to beat the ride.
Yeah, go on and ride, baby. And look, what that does is you go on and take the ride. That give your family the opportunity to come down there and bail you out. Or you can sit still until your case is over with. Whichever way it work out. But guess what?
Yep.
You'll leave there alive. But if you
Yep.
get down on the side of the road, I can't do nothing. Your family left with their hands tied behind their back because they ain't nobody out there but you and that lawman. But they
Yeah.
off them cameras. You can forget that. Now he might get 90 days death duty and be right back there for parole. But if within them 90 days they done had your funeral and forgot about you already.
Yep, they done put on that T-shirt. They done had that barbecue, that fish fry,
That
they
fish
done had
place.
that balloon release.
Exactly.
They done had that candlelight vigil.
All that.
All that, and you just a memory. Next, and now you in the grave, and you got some dude making love to your woman, raising your kids.
There it is. And all you had to do was put your hand behind your back and ride downtown Houston or whatever city you in,
and shut your mouth.
and let people litigate you and come on home.
That's it.
That's it. But look here, Steve. It's been a wonderful talk with you, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show. We miss our other host, but it is Labor Day weekend, so boys out with family and partying, and
Right.
of course KJ. Look, I found out that Reverend KJ and Kenny Wayne got the same birthday. Their birthday
is when
boys out party. They enjoy. They kicking it live for real this weekend. Labor Day and your birthday weekend, yeah, it's going down. So we appreciate.
Yeah, my birthday in 2 weeks.
Right. Well, mine ain't until next February, but we'll worry about it. Yeah. But like I said, man, I appreciate you coming on and chatting with me. And we pushed our agenda. And like I say, man, I just want to tell young brothers, look here, man. This is a war, whether you know it or not. And your goal is to win and move through this war strategically. Don't be no damn fool out there in these streets.
Absolutely.
Fool. And you got to learn and understand the game that you're playing. That's the only way you're going to win. I just want you to know that. There is a way to win. And your way to win is stay alive, get back home, and take care of your family. That's all that's required of you. So all that other rah-rah and I'm not no punk, and look here, bro. Sometimes you got to eat crow a little bit. It ain't that bad if you season it up and let it cook for a while. Yeah, you let it get real tender.
Put a little slap your mamas on it.
Yeah, put a little or Tony Satcherman, whichever one you want to use, baby. But yeah, just got to get back as black men to understanding the struggle and the game that we are caught up in, and learn how to play it just like they play. And like I say, our key thing is stay alive, baby. That's what I want. keep that in mind, and let's get back to taking care of our families, our kids, our wives, and loving on these black women like they need to be loved on. So, Steve,
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, brother, and I will see you again next week. And you enjoy your weekend. It's been a wonderful show, brother. Take care.
Already. Hey, JD.
Go ahead.
Hey, real quick. Hey, man. Next week, cause I tried to get into it today. I guess we're gonna have to talk about John Gray next week.
John Gray.
Reverend John Gray.
Yeah. That. Hey, man, look here, bro. That is
That's
crazy.
another topic for next week.
Yeah, we got it. I look. I'll be ready to talk about that one too. But yeah, appreciate you, baby. We'll see you next week, Steve.
All right, bro.
That's JD and Big Steve O signing off on JD's Man Cave. We'll see y'all next week. Thank you.